The question about the Bank of Zambia, huge issue, Bank of Zambia. So over the weekend, now this is quite a surprise. It's a surprise because normally, if you have to fire the Bank of Zambia governor, you would not do it on a Saturday, for goodness sake, you know. But Chimpembe Nishna a day of rest, and other people. Saturday is like a holy day. Parapene on the day of rest. Yeah, but Chimpembe, somebody gets fired. What is really going on? It's very important for us to deal with this. How can a person be fired on a Saturday? Okay, something unusual here. Anyway, Dr. Denny Kadialia. Now, most of the people are saying Dan. No, it's not Dan. It's Denny. D-E-N-N-Y Kadialia. Okay, so he was fired on Saturday, and his replacement is known as Christopher Mvunga. All right, Christopher Mvunga is the one that has replaced him. Now, the question that is being asked is Christopher Mvunga qualified? Now, there isn't just one way of saying that is this person qualified, because it's a complex thing, right? So you don't just say, does he have the degrees that are required? No, you dig a little bit deeper. The Constitution makes it very broad. So the Constitution is broad. The reason why the Constitution is broad is so that it can capture qualified candidates that can otherwise qualify to be the Bank of Zambia governor. So when we are talking about the qualifications of Mr. Christopher Mvunga, we are not just talking about the constitutional qualifications, right? That's not the deal. The deal is not just about whether Mr. Mvunga meets the constitutional qualifications. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't, I don't know. But when we are asking whether he's qualified for the job, we are asking much more deeper questions than just his qualifications. All right, so is he academically qualified? From the Constitution, it appears like he is, right? Why? Because he's an accountant, and I understand he's ACCA, so obviously, because the Constitution says that for a person to be appointed as post governor, at least they must have the minimum qualification of being, they can be a lawyer, an economist, or any of these allied professions, which I think captures an accountant or a banker, right? So I think there he's probably captured. Is ACCA qualification an academic qualification? Of course, there are some people who are saying that ACCA, what is ACCA? ACCA is not an academic qualification. No, I think even if it's a professional qualification, it is still an academic qualification. Therefore, I think ACCA, according to the Zambian classifications, that is the Zambia Qualifications Authority, they classify ACCA qualification as equivalent to a master's degree. Right, very important. So it is at the same level as a master's degree. So he's qualified in the sense that he's ACCA and he has the background in banking. The most crucial question, though, that we need to ask ourselves is he suitable for the position of governor? That is where the issue is. I seriously doubt whether this gentleman is suitable for the role of governor of the Bank of Zambia. Simple. All right. Now, where are my doubts that this gentleman is not suitable? First of all, his background. Now, it's not me, but one of the most eminent and educated economists in Zambia. It's not that we don't have it. We do have economists in Zambia. What they say, there is a difference between commercial banking and central banking. Commercial bankers fulfill completely different roles than a central bank. Therefore, a person who should be appointed as central bank governor should have some background within the central bank. It's just common sense. A history of some sort with the central bank. It's very important because a position to become central bank governor. No. Okay? That is the issue. Is the fact that this gentleman has no central banking background. how then do you give him the position to be Bank of Zambia governor, right? The other issue, the other concern that is clearly there is that it can be justified if, for example, President Lungu said that he went outside the government system to bring in a new governor. The reason is, you could be saying that maybe he wants to resolve a certain problem that his current crop of economists and experts don't have. You can give him a justification. The issue is then, how can you justify a decision where he appoints a person who is already part of his government system to go and head the Bank of Zambia? Now, if this government, if this economy is in trouble, okay, the economy is in trouble, it means then that Mvunga was also part of the trouble of this economy. So how does he then get elevated from being deputy secretary to the treasury, or deputy secretary to the cabinet, to become Bank of Zambia governor? Because he's part of the very problems that are there in government. How does he then become a problem solver? How does he solve problems at the Bank of Zambia if he's part of the very problems that have led to the current economic crisis, right? That's number two. Number three, Mr. Mvunga does not appear to be an independent thinker. He does not appear to be a person who is going to drive policy from an independent perspective. He appears to be a ruling party operative. That's why those that are concerned with Mvunga are justified. I think echo bale batwalira ku Bank of Zambia nicho balefayo omuntu wakoya mu kuprinta. So number, they have to look for a person who is part of their party, who is part of their rotten system, in order for that person to go and carry out their instructions at the Bank of Zambia. There is no other justifiable reason why this president should appoint this Mvunga to be Bank of Zambia governor. Nothing. Hello, you see, when a president is appointing a governor, you look for sentiments. Sentiments, beginning from number foreigners once, so the IMF has got its own issues. This Tito Mboweni, the South African finance minister, and several other Zambians, it's like across the board. Even political parties, they're saying there is something fishy about this appointment. Now, that is not how you inspire confidence in an economy. That's not how you inspire confidence in an economy. It means then that with this appointment of this governor, everybody is against it except for Patriotic Front operatives. Now, this begs the question. The Patriotic Front is a ruling party. It is agreed. It is the ruling party. But there are some institutions of state where they need to appoint people that are going to do the job and are going to be accepted by the industry. That's just the case. You are the ruling party number if you're or no, because you are supposed to show that you are concerned not just about the survival of your political party, but about the survival of the integrity of the economy of your country. And that is where the issue is. So, Kanshi, every person, all the very independent, no, this is not making sense. This appointment is not making sense. Everyone's body right. So what should the president do? No, the president should rescind this appointment, because this appointment will not help the kwacha. This appointment will not help the economy. The only people who have really show a appointment, it's the Patriotic Front, because wherever we print Bank of Zambia. Okay, And then the other thing is yama manners. Okay, bonse kwena mwandeni itumisango twali kwa time. So number shireba seka bamvunga ati pantu bale shane. No, I'm not going to have issues with that. Number at least the thing is kwali wako tuma manners tumo. Talk about we muntu viro wabafi wa ichinti kabwino wino. Number iwe muchintu wingi wasasango kwa ati ule shane. Kola bako ka question kaliaka kobati nishi what kind of a person are you? Oh fine. Nishire museka yo kwebati yo mkwa nishi ntomfwa. But utuma videos to surface. Na tupera ko ka impression aka kobati ya constitutional requirement yako it must be a person of proven integrity. What's the power sana? Now it's very difficult to say that because none of us are perfect. Na inewe inepano. Mbikutu kwa bako ka video ka ingafumaka kobati nishi ndeshane. But it gives you an idea like you muntu taba serious na life, you know. Pantu kwena wa muntu muchintu wengi teti wewe mukote pantu bakote bamvunga teti wewe mukote wa mukuchaya split muchintu wengi, you know. Ifilimba fya wamisha wa mfobino sana, you know. Music ya wamisha sana wa yawebere na ina la yashano kuyashane chane na ka split wa panga. And you are the Bank of Zambia governor. No, there is, you see, even when he was deputy minister, but they are an indication of somebody's integrity, unfortunately. Number ebo mwasala okobati Bank of Zambia governor. If you're in a country, I posted the issue there was Vale no Rutuku. Now, I'm not saying that Vale no Rutuku. I'm just using the license as an artist. As an artist, ndef panga fe mumutu enjebere bale no rutuku. Vasi, efyo ndebe that vasi. Vasi, bale no rutuku na mvunga. Vanu, vaunfo rutuku ya wamisha. Ero vasi vaeva mkavundula. Bebere iwe mvungwa. Ndefo kufumia poyo. Vushakutu waibombe inchito. Na yenda mvunga ebere pano no sana po. Mr. President, nala bombera. Muyamwene muli rutuku, bamuchita na point. Abana Bank of Zambia governor. Those are the thoughts that are coming to my mind because tapali any other justifiable reason why this president would appoint an unqualified individual like Christopher Vunga to be Bank of Zambia governor. Tapali. Number one. Now, but particularly the Patriotic Front media. Now, baleta mu Maria Shayakobati na kunoku basungu basonta as Bank of Zambia governors abantu abasha chitana economy. Mwamona, this is the problem because abantu ababufi kuya bomfi yako fimbi vyefish parireko. Ero nababaleta ati this is what is happening. These countries here kubasungu bali kwata a very long history. Nama institutions yabo yaliba already extremely stable. Yaliba stable to an extent that nangubaletela mo historian, nangubaletela mo preacher, theologian, nangubaletela mo lawyer kobati abe a figurehead. Uliani figurehead fiwa kuchitashani uwa to provide that stability and leadership integrity to an institution. Efamba bank governors abengi baba kuno kubasungu. But the fundamentals of the institution itself nishiti deep. Number institution ya Bank of Zambia. Wafya bulipo. Wako ebati nicho. Balefwa yokwiba. Ero number 10 kaliale. Abakani natine ishirefwaya. Okumipero olupia. Kufurwa bafulirwe balungu bebere kanshi. Apo watu kani na ifu okwiba. You are going to go out. That is what has happened to Deni Kaliale. Ero na Deni Kaliale ali honest. Because economy tayaba kona kalimo it's an opinion. No. Economy ngataire chitagwino. You have to say it ukobate. Kwena economy taire chitagwino and these are the things that we are putting in place pakobate to each revive. If you then kaliari are land. Ukobate we are in a recession. That's what it is. Kunonga kuli recession ku Canada. Uko nchikana. Uko naisa mukutandara mukuseya. Naisafia mukuseya kuno. Haini. Naisafia mukutandara kuzami. Ku Canada ntandala fye no kuseya epera kunganda ni kuisa ni kumilenge na kuchwe mpala eko nkabwera kuchiwe mpala na kumirenge kweso kuno ni mukuseya na mukubomba kuno kanshi kuno ifyo chaba ayin ama institutions yaliba very strong yaliba very strong so nombe ifyo chali nangufe kuno kuinenga kwaba kwa ishu mu economy balalanda. Canada is now facing a recession. England is now facing a recession. Naku America, baneba. Naku balalanda. Oh, it's facing a recession. Naku South Africa queen, alelanda ulia minister wabo wapakanwa. Ala wapakanwa titombo weni. Evere kwena, natu chita face a recession. Nomba Mzambia wafyo wakwe bati. Tababa na honest. So nombelo deni kadialiala ndiro watu. Wana natu chitako face ka recession. Basi kufulwa. Ati nga utulera ndashani because bena bafumwena muse banya okwebati you can't say okwebati economy iri mu recession apo peno mlandu waima ati bala mutamvi balete po uwachawe chabe wakwebati akala bepo obufi ni Bank of Zambia governor bambo okubepa jiyo fyonse filifye bwenu. How can you run an economy like that? Kutumu station run Bank of Zambia kona kalimo ni PF propaganda. You cannot run a country through propaganda. You need people to give you accurate data so that you can come up with solutions to resolve problems. Nachimbi, tribalism. Ngacha abashani ukwebati balungu nangu basi baleta nfya fye mitundu. Ewo baleta nfya. Abatonga bale batamfya, abalozi bale batamfya, abaku Northwestern Province bale batamfya, bale tamfya fye bale isonta fye ababemba n'abaku chipata beka nomba imwe mulenje bati yo mukwaini lalanda poefi nga nishi tete ndandire ine ndi wakulu wapola nomba tete insumbi ni shoko bati yo Zambia yabena lwapola fye yo Zambia yabonse. Abatonga na abalozi na bakaonde na bakalunda bonse chimo chine ni Zambia yesu nomba iwe ngani wekateka wewe wakwebati abatundu bambi bena wakosa pokula batamfye nchito at in national interest ngani national interest inshiyo munje beko mweba nandi ni national interest ya msango shani ya kwebati lyonse nu abatonga na abalozule batamfye nchito. Nishvena they are not part of the nation. In nation yenu kono fyabena chipata na babe mbaba nenswepera. Veka. Ebo chiwamine. Iyo mkwai. Ichi sela icha kutamfya batundu. Inchito. Muleke. Kange ni Zambia. One Zambia, one nation. Imamulanda for one Zambia, one nation. Kano fake padi imwe. Epera. Kanshi te one Zambia, one nation. Te one Zambia one nation yabalozi, te one Zambia one nation yabatonga. Bonse abatonga na abalozi abali mutufulo mule bachuchunganye chipeshama no kubetire mpepo no kubatamfye nchito ngevi chitige kuli bakalialia mwabika kuwa kuchipata munenu wako bati takwata na track record ya central banking ekada fukada mwabika kwetu waba Bank of Zambia governor ngefia lokoti fia michindika shani economy no shita kwa bafya economy yali yikalira fia ineka at Zambia yeka fia no every economy now kuliyama relationships interrelationships if it stika ku Canada has an effect on Zambia if it stika mu South Africa has an effect on Zambia eno nomba mwatu wala kofi omuntu katuishi fyo ko mwamufumia tiyo ba Bank of Zambia governor elo tuilanda po ati yo chirifye bwino tuikarefye mweba nandi aleni njafuirisheni ati tuikarefye tuilalanda pweliliash iyo mkwae twakulalanda na tumfu akalimbusha kalantiro okweba ati deni kajali echo bamutamfishe barefo kukonka ni apo fyo kula Kongola elo tekoba tiba Kongola bachita na efya mano nenkongole no. The Patriotic Front government, they go to Kongola and they do something reasonable with this money. No. Ngaba Kongola kuiba. If you're in Mbetira, it's never Kongola tuibe. Kongola tuibe. infrastructure bridge na vale panga iya kwa mwana wasa actually iya Botswana Kazungula wonderful bridge nomba mweva nande ndefo kumipushako imbwiriranda ati bamuninane mweva muninane efe mbwiriranda ati bamuninane nomba bamuninane okubomvya language yako akambwiri nomba bamuninane ndefo aya munjebeko Iria bridge necho yapwira bwino oja musango Botswanans aini eba alipire inkongole Botswanans eba pangire iria bridge nomba nga mwachiruka fe iria bridge mwaingira mukazungula nifinish mulesanga 50 years after independence takwaba omusebo ndefo munjebeko nomba natumfoko bati balefo okukongola more money iya kupanga a rail line between Chipata and Serenje. $2 billion. A rail line. Since 1964, nalelo tapali umusebo just umusebo to connect Copper Belt to Lusaka. Mwebanandi. Copper Belt Ndola to Lusaka. Tapara. Musebo wako batire loba panga mairo ifipunda ama bohos njetat ma bohos fiambo kutulaika 60 years after independence 56 years after independence next month October we'll be celebrating 56 years after independence we do not have a dual carriageway between Ndola and Lusaka and yet we have borrowed heavily, billions and billions of dollars. Where has that money gone to? It has gone into the pockets of the Patriotic Front. Ilio bareland of what more money in your pockets. Bale ilanda beno kobat, it's more money in their pockets. How is it acceptable? 56 years after independence, we have no decent road network. Mwiranda pupadi shionseji misawoshia kumushina mshane between economic powerhouses, between Ndola and Lusaka. Musebo wakobati chirabale Afrika pakati umusebo wambo kutulaika. Where has the money gone? Barisa tuletere chinchati bala panga $1 billion road from Lusaka to Ndola. After an apro, bachinja mano. Baya panga fie a little bit of thing. Napa John Chine na Tabafika. I'm from Lusaka. Napa 5 miles Tabafika. Ba panga fie up to Pazingalume. Epo ba panga fie ka small dual carriageway. Ka Afrika Pazingalume. Epela. Napa John Chine. Akamsevoka leta ka Afrika. No, but between Mamona, this is the thing with propaganda. so propaganda ife ibomba. Mwasala ya tukapanga duo carriageway to Ndola. Mwafirwa, mwaiba. Mwaivolu pia. So chida mwaivolu pia nomba. Elomba mwaya panga koka small portion of the road up to Zingalume. Elomba mwaka kopaka yakene. No kukachita distribute all over the world. Ukushinga abantu bata pamenso okobati mulebomba ala mweba ume tamwala ndira tuyo museboka perera Pazingalume yo mwatwebera tuka okaya kundola nomba na pa John Chine na pene tamwafisha hapo dio musebo waperera kuisa Pazingalume ulya wine ulya bakopa ichikope kopia tiyo duo carriageway ya Lusaka. Where has the money gone to? It's been stolen. So when we see all these efforts that are being done, it's because President Lungu wants to undermine not only his government, but he wants to undermine all the institutions. Because some institutions yaba at the mercy of the Patriotic Front as a party. Ngatulera ndapwefete kuba nombanishe twalipate echalo iyo mkwa Zambia twalitemwa nomba abo tatuatemwa niba si imisango basishachiramo ebwafya bulipo emisango shabaasi shakiramo. Vasombo mlengati it's John Highway now. Kui imwe tepa John Chinena paja. Pa John Chinena omusebo uwo mwatwebera tukafika kuisa kundola mwawasa ufisha pesa pazinga lume nokukopa sana ama picture. At least okay nga mwalitu wala kwa tipa 5 miles, pa 10 miles, na pa John Chinena. Dimbi, kuchitu wasumi na kwa tiyoko ena, kwa alivevia luvene fimo, fia kwa watu bafiru wakufi. Nomba, mwafisha pazinga lume, mwaive mpia. How can that be justified? Nomba, bale tuweba fia tiyona wakwatama infrastructure kuisoko kushangombo, atwari kula, a very big general hospital in Shangombo. Ama nurses takwaba. Ama doctors takwaba. No musebo wako ya kushangombo takwaba. Nomba bako serera ukulabe pati bare kule misebo mumpanga mumeshi. Ala mweba one. Mwakongola tuwaya mkukula kuisa umusebo kuisa kumushi. Eko baya mkukula umusebo. Emisebo ishakobati economic engine from Ndola to Lusaka na lero dini. 300 kilometers. 300 kilometers, half of it, ma potholes. 56 years after independence. Nenkongole mwali kongola. Atutukulo mseo. Lusaka to Livingston, Okazungula. Nikis, zero, nothing. Lusaka to Livingston. It's just recently, baile kopako picture padiaka chingan pesa hapo. Hapo baile kopati, they've started renovating 56 years after independence. Tumwalanda kwa during Kaunda's reign, inkongole shari shop. Tawale kongola vena Kaunda. Chilwana enarisa isha kwa kongola kopanono. Mwana wasa achitashani, asa achita reduce, ichipesha manu. Arabina was a great economic manager. Achitana build ama reserves wino to about $2.5 billion in reserves. Ero nombaba sambash basa tabashire isabebere naba minister babo bachikwanda. Ero basa isa bachita squander the entire 2.5 billion. Ero nombaba alunda po uku Kongola about $15 billion more. Naba alungu baisa parabiana bachita continue the same manners. Uku Kongola po several billions. Sata kutuompera kwa ensambu atibadi tuwede. Okay, within the first year or the second year, so tabale mona bwino ife bale sign na basata bali twede kutumwalanda kwa tawe. He was manipulated by Vena Chikwanda and several other people. Bale batwadi na fyokobati, they are contracting all these debts. What about these debts that Lungu has contracted? Billions and billions. Where is it going? So nomba bafiwa uko chita economy nomba kwamba fyokola bepesha abantu atiyo it's Bank of Zambia. Nomba batuwale ko kutuma mwanati bara tuwala ko wa mano, bara tuwala ko uli independent, bara tuwala ko unga bachita ko advice, bara tuwala ko their own puppet to be Bank of Zambia governor. Bank of Zambia ni finishita. Bank of Zambia eisunge chuma chachalo. Katulanda ati ubu wafya kuliko wako bati venanga bakongola. Kwa libabalando kwa bati yo bushaba sungu benata bakongola. There is a huge difference. Iwe te kukonkerera baneba ati pantu baneba bala kongola kalova na iwa ya mku kongola kalova. Aine ngata wako hata bwino ichuma wikesha pantu limbineba akachita manage. How would neighbor manage? Kutaya Kongola 5 billion or 5 kwacha. Kalobaidia awesha. Pantu afola 5,000 kwacha. Nomba na iwete tumukonkere yo kwa bati yo pandu achi ya poka kalobaya 5 kwacha na inena ala ya poka kalobaya 5 kwacha. No. Nomba efile chitika tiyo mkwai hapo wabasungu na bobe ne bala Kongola na ifwetu wala ya Kongola. Nomba ifwe taxation base. It's very small. Ishin pia Canada ichita o. Nga ilefu ya Canada kuti ya chita repay within a year or two. Kuti ya isa fiasa tu chita tax. Ala kwa liva tax kunumu anamayo. Mumfuavi. Kwa liva tax. They can come and tax us. And they tax and they repay. Nomba ku Zambia. $20 billion. Nibana nmuka chita tax. to pay that debt. So if ifya mungulu kwa bati yo mkwaipa to America ila Kongola na ifwe bene twala ya Kongola yama 20 billion. Elo teko bati mwa Kongola to invest in any tangible infrastructure. Ku Kongola mwaiba. Where on earth would a minister, niba minister of Shan, niba minister of health, the Chinese government to go out to pay more billions to Congole so that we build a university? How is that acceptable? There are no means in Zambia. We do have the means. What we need is a leader. Leader who kwete the interest of the country at heart. Leader who akwata kasoka kusunga winwe chalo. Not kantankaras chakolwa uwa temuafye ukulabika po ba bululu bakwe epela na bakuchipata. Na bena luwapula bamobo bakabuwalala. Beka. Ati ekuteka. Iyo mkwaite ekuteka. Ukuiva tekuteka iyo twakana. Are anyone who wants to kulunda pupadi Elias or any question? Pantukale twaishirepo apasolero twalafukirira. During her different opinions call for dialogue, it's true. The color blue looks good. Because I think it's a light color tayari moneka bueno. So I hope the color yala moneka ko bueno. But foot blue sometimes, anyway. Blue. Twaisha kwa in. Oko fichinja. Ini basombo. Oko tumfyo muntu pesa bata. Imagine. Pesa bata. Ukuiza mutamfye nchito pesa bata. Elo bambare ndati yo akayachura. Nikuiza oko deni kali akayachura. Tapati yo akayachura yo. But mamustamche suddenly without reason kumulipira impatience ishaba part of the of the contract. So alifye bwe. Nefiyalo fimbi fika msonda because kaingen Bank of Zambia. Yeah. Nefiyalo fika msonda. Aleni bamusako loke nidia shamutishana. Fred Musako, you are online. Okay. Alan Landen mlete portion pa Elias. Yeah, no, I don't think it's clear, man. Can this man even show himself on the international stage? International stage. That's to issue. But from the dancers, I think the Chinese are happy. Because umuntu wafile kuya mushtira fyobwalwa bamubikira pono lwimbo atishana amiranga. It's very sad. It's extremely sad. Now, we are not saying this because the question is simple. Oyumwa mutola kuisa. Nikuisa mwa mutola pakwata. I have a Bank of Zambia government. Sombo Mlenga. That's what they want to do, but they are not driven by any economic activities. They are driven by the thirst for stealing. Kuiba, therefore Kuiba, 2 billion rail line. Oh man, Basi vaona ule chalo. PF is desperate to return to power in the coming general elections. Yes, I think that's all that this thing is. They just want to return to power, and they are trying by all means. Okay, can we try again? Lefred Musako, can we try again?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think Bombe taire bomba. Jones Mbala bachikwanda bachita squanda. Mwand bachikwanda bachita squanda. MP okuya kongola ma billions and then squandered it all. I think sata kusompera kwensambu bad wele. Tabale chita pay attention. Number, what is the justifiable reason for Balungu? Ishi ukuku kongola baire kongola. Alandeni kwa narero tuwaleta Chanda Alfred. Okay. Narero tuwaleta. How is PF going to navigate the ratification of the boss governor? They are the majority in power. Wafia, Wabu10, they are the majority in power. So good stuff to require you have a governor, via bamvotera. So bakamvotera. Unless the people continue resisting and telling State House to say, look, you guys want to bring this economy back to normalcy again. You want this economy to grow. You're not going to grow it by having a cadre at the Bank of Zambia. You're not going to grow it that way. When you steal, why isha Kongole, why isha contract, why you're not satisfied. Ulefwa nomba nokuya ku Bank of Zambia na kwa notification. Uye mkuiba. That's the problem. Zambia bare iba kuma government Zambia bare iba fe directly if you feel. Nomba uyu aiba kuma contracts. Basi iba kuma contracts. Basi iba Kongole. Basi iba kuri infrastructure development. Basi iba through the taxes. Yonsa yama taxes aye. Targets iba. Fyonse fi basi bare iba fe. Nomba basi baiba fiafula abati awe tafikwene nomba kanchina ku Bank of Zambia kuine tubike komuntu wesipoko bati it's easier to go and steal more. That's the only justification. Na ku Bank of Zambia basi bachitashani babika ko wao. Maya bika ko wao. Bank of Zambia firokuba kwati niulia a sober mind independent wako politician alifie kwati slightly sober muntu wako wate ale mistako advise mwebu teko nga mwaya kuma wale fefini mwaya kongola amista advise wako wate bane projection ya ndalama kuntanshu kutukakwata a problem because economics it shouldn't be very complicated. Okay, what happens is if more foreign countries come to buy what we have in Zambia, our kwacha picks up. Simple. Because ababonsa baba leisa mukuchita efe tuwa kwa Zambia. Balechita shani, baleisa mukuchita demand for kwacha. And when they're demanding for kwacha, kwacha's value goes up. That's how it works. You will require to sell your kwacha in order to pay all these debts. Reserves printer. So chiramule printer number impia in circulation shaba more. That inflation where you have more money in the economy than demand. So nomba impia shasangu kangech pe palafie. Emochirola. Valueless. Gefere chitika ku Zimbabwe. Nomba ifire chitika ku Zimbabwe. Efyo barete. Emisango barete Mzambia. Na tumfuat na ifika mma 19 kwacha nomba yala ba 20 kwacha very soon. Now instead of acting rationally winongo muntu. Abo. Bambo kula chita act. Kona kalimo na wakolwa lutuko. How can you justify that? Instead of deciding on a Saturday, what's the Fire Bank of Zambia? Wabikapo umbi subject to ratification of the National Assembly. When you know exactly what it will be ratified. That is the issue that we have. so tekoba tatwatemwa Zambia twaliitemwa nombeshi misango bareke epera nombanga balale kashari tufuire okubeba. They cannot just depend on PF psychophants. Beka ba PF yonse fe baipingula bachita bafumyapo oyu governor nomba balete po governor wabo. The Honorable Minister of Finance is from Boz. Do you think he could have not advised the president well? Katwish, who advised him? If yakobat Beyonce, umfweni bamulenga. If yakobat Beyonce, the problem is with Lungu's advisors. Tuleke. This appointment has nothing to do with Lungu's advisors. It's Lungu who is appointing this gentleman, Mfunga. It's not the decision of the Minister of Finance. It's not the decision of anyone. It is his decisions. Okay? We don't know who advised who, but it is the president who is directly responsible for this bad appointment. Nobody else is. Why should we try to find that somebody else is responsible for this bad appointment? Bank of Zambia as governor. I think he would have liked it. I don't know if I appoint you in Mvunga to be Minister of Finance. Maybe. A little bit of sense. Number okulo attribute to God. No, this appointment may have been vetted by the Minister of Finance. No, it is the president. Oh, abena Zambia basara. Nilungu. Eka teka nilungu. Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces nilungu. No, tetiba lungu vena basi. Bakonka nepfyukula chite. Ero mbabale bepesha abantu bambia they are the ones who are advising him. Kanshinga baafirwa bafumepo. Next year, Zambia ngabaya kuma elections. They'll go and vote for a group, a team that is going to help build Zambia. Number 2, bepesha abantu bambi ateba eba chitire. So ni babu walianga ndubarengere ukuba batwale an ill-qualified person to be Bank of Zambia governor. No. Mvunga was a product specialist at the bank, but what products if not Visa card? Stop downgrading his experience. I think he did very well. He worked for the bank, and most of our citizens are working in banking. Most of our citizens are chartered accountants, and they've done SCCA. Wonderful. Okay. Let's not denigrate that experience. The only issue is that experience yaba Mvunga, they have a bank governor. Ero constitutional and that integrity kafire kabapo. Number tuma stories to our unfo tuma ngwingwi. How to limbush about bank governor. That to we no sana. Not picture. Pantu kwena we muntu. Ofire wa ichindi kakopa nono. Tete we muntu kuyachita muchintu kwingi wa mu kuchita split dance we mukote no ala bane kula shana kofi bwino iya mchinji na ushi watu limukote kula shana kofi iya mchinji tabareranda tapali ureranda tiyo mkwayo muntu tete ashane nomba nangulu imbolo wa mashani kushana kwa ya mchinji we mukote aba iche no problem ba youth mwandi ni mwe ba youth mule shane no problem nomba we muntu nga yakutira waishi batu wambo kukota kula shana kwa dances yaba kote not iwe wayamukushane shane no muchintu wingi and mulanda tiyo mkwai tufure tufitu walabako yo mkwai abantu. No, what kind of thing is that? Many years ago, I posted by such a report to go at Gero Jan. No, man, shanda bafema Gero because tafipera sana any. No, the issue is at varia mutumi na OP. Everybody post such the report. Number post him babufi. Number kwa ni weba bepe shafe yonse. Efuarera ndamvunga tiyo mkwai bambepe shefye shatumine ba OP kuya mukuchita araskero. Okuchita araskero manwa yabi wa mutumina bakapokola. No, gero ngakukana, nishakukana, chapwa. So kanshi wafya sana. Baba ni ba Bank of Zambia governor. Hapo nishibali fe wa deputy minister wale tumaopi. Nomba bakola tuma bakanyango ba Bank of Zambia. Bebeleka bia uchite arazo lya gero alikana. It's very pathetic. Amunsherekeni mumone kwacha inine, give it 1 month mwalamona. Give it 1 month, of course kuti bapanga. Bafipanga. Ero nomba after 1 month chabashani, down. Ichi kwanka, pachimwena kumampalania. Ichi kwanka, pachimwena kwe, kumampalania. Kutu wamona ati chikwene chi, chapalako. Pigechara, chindo chiri chibondo mene, chibondo chanama, ntalo keko, chisa konsuma. Kuti wachimone chibondo chanama ati chala isa mukonsuma, ntalo keko. Nomba nefyo tumwene ati yola beni kofie, somehow, kwacha ilinokunina. Ngaika nina shani. Emisango shabu kerenka, it's evidently there. In Kongola tuibe, it's there. Nomba kulina imbi in Kongola ya $2 billion worth of rail line from Chipata to Serenje. Ukutuwale enshi katuishi. From Chipata, maybe ni to Koswe. Ukuchita export to Koswe from Chipata to Serenje. $2 billion bala Kongola. Erote tumuba kanye. Atiyo mole ni kwacha yala nina. Nga yala nina shana. Deni kariari ale bebo kobati if you kuchite chite be precise, be concise. Deni abantu wino strong people, you know, ukuteka. No, balungu tefyo ba befyo iyo. Kula chite fyo kuseya baya ukubaya kongola nefile chitika tafile moneka wino iyo, ba milaya atiyo tuwala pango msebo tundola ba peze afipazi ngalume epera. Ero no baba kopa bebere tulepange misebo and infrastructure development. Baya Kongola, instead, how many police officers do we have in Zambia? Maybe 30,000. Baya panga mayanda for 300. Ero no baba kopati, we are building houses for police officers. Extremely pathetic. Is it 80,000 Kapokolas in Zambia? Baya kula fyotu nono bakongola ku China bakulo tumaendo ero bakopati, we have started building houses for police officers. Kwati kutumfya abantu. Kuyafipanga sana kuchidibisha sana na corona kuchita spread over propaganda. Ile bridge ile po kukazungula ile mwala mona propaganda ya lafu mapo. Ero tubepushe. Nomba, how do we get to that bridge? What happened to the roads? Musebo fyo wako tutuwala kule yako bridge. It's all eaten. Impia badi iba. Anso ngatebena Botswana na ilia quality ya work, ilia quality ya ilia bridge at Kazungula. You would have seen. Ngeve chari kulikeke International Airport. Ama plans ba pangire for Keke International Airport na reality completely different. What's the difference? Badidia baiba. Elofuti, even when they change the specifications, mulandu wako bati baiba ba shota futi no kupuisha the substandard infrastructure that they are trying to build. They can't. Badia. Nomba mtueba tiotu ilalanda. Tuchisefe concentrate kumfyo turechi toko kwene kuna uko tuwaisa mkuchona na mkusea atiyo mkwa ime just concentrate uko kwine ifwe tureke ni turejiba awe tatuwa mireke awe tatuwa mireke ebo afya budi so nombaga nshikula chitafi ukubaya basuma tapadi nefi clear wino. Okay, just roads, Nothing. 56, yes. $20 billion in debt later. Nothing. It's pretty pathetic. Okay? Buba Zulu, this is so sad. Evangeline, tevakuleka awo mgwaira tuwabareke. Tabaticha kukonko olubiro nove kuchikonke olubiro. So twala chikonko olubiro. Tatwalabe kofi. Twakula chitanga pawokola ofe pano nofine tuwabwera nakairi mukulanda po. Ngati nchitwalalekera okulanda. What will happen? Number they will go and raid the Bank of Zambia. Bebe shonse mpia, bebe redimo. Gare ibiro mufulo. Nangoku ibiro mufontini, you know. Kwa ibako kuiba kwa but at least ukuiba. Kwa bako nombo ukuiba kubufontini, ukuibiro bufontini. Nabaza mbitira bonse bare iba fie kwati nibali abaja yako kusulu. Bantu kwena nangu muingalanda tulande shani. Kuti umuntu awina shani overnight. Ababasungu mulera ndati yo n'abasungu nabo bene barachita appoint substandard candidates for these central banks. Okay. You can't just show up wamukushitenganda with $2 million cash. Takwaba. Kukuipshatu wemwome wafunya kuisenshi mpia. And that's the order of the day in Lusaka. Things are being built, but there is no underlying wealth. You know, they are so rich. Kanshi basi, kumfafet basi, basta donate 100,000 kumirenge, basta donate 200,000 kuchipata, basta donate so much money kumongu, and you are confused. How can a person who was a lawyer, and all this thing, if you have Doris Lee-Barian, that he was a very successful lawyer, that's a lie. Okay? Lawyers don't make all that money. Certainly, Mr. Basi Tabago Etoru Pia. It's just very few lawyers in Zambia that they've made a lot of money, but most lawyers, they decent lives, quite all right. But here, that you were before he became president is a lie. Tabako etolopia before he became president. Just like everybody else in Zambia. Number suddenly, he has become rich. Number, take common sense. Pusha common sense kwena. Tetuwai pusha. Ukobat areni bane mwawina shan. Okay, tulekati yo nivakateka. Dimbiawe nivakateka. The next question is, I'm a ministers. Lwafuma kuisolupia. Chachine ndabomba kukwena kuno kuntu no abana ndesunga bwino filifye bwino. Nombanga chakutira imwe mwasamona within a year or so. Suddenly namba kwa ama donations 100,000 ukujanjani tari mukepusha. Amuti kwena chachine nomba fyainda sha. Na kuno kuna abasungu bakepusha bebere alamune. Mu account alelo ndolola efyo chiba kuno alelo ndolola mune ngishishafula shani nomba abonga nibani abo ba minister of health baibe mpia shama donations baibe mpia sha covid baibe mpia sha sha kufipatala baibe mpia sha miti fyonze baliba nokumona tulemona okobati chija chakwa nani icho chakwa chitalu icho chakwa kapyombyo niko pyopyo kampyongo ati icho chakwa kampyongo icho chakwa chitotera icho chakwa nani ala bade ngamwa wina shani icho chakwa lusambo 2 billion worth of things ba lusambo kuya chidonate ewati yomkwa imuyipushi hapo ala. Money has a source. Money doesn't just fall at no, shall by the source. So quick shafma kuisa at shafma from operating people. What kind of thing is that? balungu nabakwata so much money to flash around that nabakwata with a special person, not part of government, outside government, ule tuwale yote presidential empowerment funds. Alebo mfyanendeke isha zaf. To go and distribute ulupia to villagers kumongo, atukuya, no kumusaluta bale musaluta. How is that normal? How can men and women in uniform ukuya saluto umuntu, ordinary person, uatwala the so-called presidential empowerment funds kumongo akasaka kandala makanshi mwamona wafya wabuka bwalala you can't do anything tangible with it kanshi kula folesha afye, you know. Because waliva, you are a thief. That's why in 2021 they imumwebe na Zambia mulengere basi yabene bafirwa okuteka leso ali bapera chance kuba batareteka ko 5 years ngani 6 years bafirwa ngani 7 years bafirwa instead ya kuteka bena basi fimbi kanshite imumwebe na Zambia mwiko mfano obubiyo mukasaleko bambi tumone na ifoife bali abambi bakasashani bakateka ngani bakambwiri mukabasale era kutira bakambwiri bako mfana na ba HH mukabasale tubike kwa abantu bambi abatekania abakaso okusunga bwinu ekyalo. Emkwe so epo na perera iria shiriandiko ena liapa nono fe 1 hour anyway epo na perera papena please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our page, okay? Like it and spread the word around. Nabambi abantu na bale umfwako evifyo tureranda so kanshi kuchita distribute wangu to everyone. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your patience and support. See you next time. Okay? Elias Munshya here of Milenge and Chiwempala. Kuchiwempala. Thank you.